So, what must I do here? Actually send the message or nah?
Don't do it.
Sneaky Main said welcome back to the podcast.
Oh
I
my
hate you so much.
god, you absolute dick nugget. Can we have a proper intro?
That was pretty funny. Come on, that would be pretty
Ah.
funny. Oh, it's fine. I'll do a proper intro if you guys.
You know, I'm so lazy. I don't think I'm gonna edit it. This is gonna go in the intro.
Imagine this is how we have the whole podcast. We just type to each other in Kremlin chat.
No. Enough with the text to speech.
Oh, that
It's-
can be our name even. The text to speech podcast.
No. No,
Oh.
Michael. No.
That's that's pretty problematic.
Okay, well, seemingly that Daniel's been actually broken today.
Oh,
I
look,
can-
I'm
I
not
can do the
broken.
intro if
I'm
you
just being pretty funny, okay? And this is all going in.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I am joined by my co-host Michael
Hello.
and the absolute dick nugget of a person, Daniel.
Thanks, Kevin. I really appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Oh my god, I don't even know how to go from that anymore. So, how's everyone been? You know, it's first week of school, and as you obviously
For
know,
us. Good.
for us, yeah, first week of school, Siri, go away. And you know, online school.
really?
Everyone here knows. Well, most people know we can't actually go to school physically, so we've been doing online school. And yeah, so how's online school been for you guys?
Oh, like, honestly, like at the moment, like, we're getting like quite a lot of work, more than we usually get at school, I think. Well, to a certain degree, like projects, not necessarily like. And I know I'm saying like a lot, okay? But, yeah. Anyway, I think everyone's just trying to get used to it, even the teachers, so they don't really know like workloads, and just generally they don't discuss it with each other. So everyone's just trying to get into it, and we'll eventually find balance, you know.
Eventually, might take
It's
4
not
months.
like Thanos.
Just
Like it must be balanced.
snaps his finger and half the work disappears.
One way or another, we're gonna get balance.
Daniel goes on a hunt for the Infinity Stones. Runs into the Avengers in an alternate universe. Crazy shit, man.
Crazy shit, man.
You know
So,
what else? Alternate
I'm
universes.
like, for me, like online work is like a bit of the same. Like I can get like really lazy and complacent sometimes, but it's more like I'm sort of like, I wouldn't say like giving up, but I kind of get like fed up with the amount of work they give us, and I'm like, I really don't want to do this. Because as soon as you finish that one thing, they're like, yeah, nah, you've got something else that's due for like midnight. And I'm like, but I just finished this other thing that was due for midnight. Yeah, but you got another thing due for midnight, and you better do it because it's for your portfolio. And I'm like,
Oh, fuck.
so like, I mean, it's nice that you get to stay at home. You like can do your work at your own pace for the most part. But it's just it can be annoying how many projects they're giving you because everyone's in a bit of a frenzy and like panicking about, are we gonna be able to do this right for the matric here? You know, it's understandable, but it's still annoying.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, it's like teachers. I know we're in lockdown, and I know, you know, we're supposed to be doing work, but why is it all of a sudden I feel like we're getting more work than we normally do? Like just this week we had 2 tests, and I'll tell you something, online test is stressful. I don't care what people say. Really, just silence.
I mean, you made your point. I'm not really refuting it.
Oh man, but I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I personally feel like I've been overworked, more so than I would in just
At
at
school.
regular school. Yeah.
Because like
I
I said,
think
like,
like Okay, yeah, you can go, Michael, and then I'll
People-
bring up one.
No one has ever been in like a pandemic before, us or the teachers. You know, so it's like I said earlier, it's understandable that they're like piling us with work because they're like panicked and they're like, we need to get the matrics through this year to, you know, satisfy the school's requirements of like the 100% pass rate that we've kept alive for years. We have to get a whole like 100 plus students into uni, you know, etc. etc. So I think if anything, it's kind of like it's almost like it's like a reaction. They're just like, oh shit, they're at home, give them work.
Oh man.
Which are, like, I think they've also got a lot of like work on their plates, but they shouldn't just dump it all onto us because it's kind of a dick move, bro. But yeah,
Yeah, it's hard though. I don't know. I just feel like this week personally for me has been harder than most other weeks that I normally go through at school.
Honestly, like I think it's because there's a lack of separation between work and school.
The
Like,
lack of
that's-
separation.
something
Like
something
you
that
go
I've
to
actually,
school and then you come home and there's that separation. There's a break.
yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
that's something I've actually been saying to my mom. Something Alex brought up to me, like a while ago. He said like it really sucks having to work at home a lot of the time because you want to have that like differentiation. You know, like work is at work, and when you drive home to home, that's when you can chill, and it's like you might have some extra stuff over, but you don't associate homework with work. You know, but now
Yeah.
that we're in lockdown, like Alex living in Germany, lockdown has just been lifted for them, so now he's going back to work and stuff, like work. But for us, it's still like, you know, we're at home, and it's like we don't have that separation anymore. It's like home is work. You know, so it's frustrating and annoying in terms of that.
Yeah. I mean, also for me, it's like, come on now. I'm at home. Just leave me alone, please.
Yeah, but also like you don't have all your extracurricular activities. Like you can't go swimming.
I miss my sport.
Daniel can't do hockey.
Hookie.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so disappointed.
I mean, I can still do music at home, but I don't have like the whole band to like talk to, at school and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
so it's things that would have like helped to distract you from like school and how shitty your day may have been aren't there as much anymore. Like you enjoy swimming, and that's like your pastime at school, to where you can chill at school. You know, you get a break finally, and you focus on something else. But
Yeah.
now you don't even have that, and the place that was meant for just chilling is now completely associated with work.
Yeah. Oh man. For the listeners of this podcast, yes, this podcast is gonna be 3 blokes complaining about how tough their life is. Because I will tell you something, it's rough, okay?
Well,
Working at home for me is just rough in general. I never like working at home.
so do I.
It's just, Why, do you not have a problem with it?
I mean, it's okay, it's just different.
It's just different. I guess. Do you reckon we'll get used to it though?
At some point, yeah.
It depends how long it lasts. Next minute, like two weeks from now, they're like, okay, you guys can go back.
Nah, we know it's not gonna be 2 weeks.
It's not gonna be 2 weeks, but let's just say.
Yeah. On a brighter note, Matric Dance didn't get cancelled. They've delayed it,
Got it, got it.
which was
No, it's gonna be cancelled.
October. Do you reckon?
Yeah, it's gonna be cancelled.
But I mean,
Oh man.
Bro, they're not gonna do grade 12 battle. They're not gonna do that.
no, they won't. But like COVID is only expected to peak in some time around September in South Africa. Like, not only that, but like we aren't like getting enough tests like in South Africa. Like we aren't testing like either the locations or just testing.
Oh,
in
we
general.
actually are testing like a lot. To be
I
fair.
think maybe it's a lot more now, but like, but at one point it was. But
Yeah, that was like a month ago, Chief.
what?
That was like a month ago.
But still, like we're now at 8,800 cases, 8,800, 900 cases, something like that, and still on the
Yeah.
rise.
I don't know.
But I think it is going to be quite a while before we could be expected to. You can go back to school now. Have fun at your dance.
You can
For me
just hear
personally-
Kevin's, like depressed wails. in
No,
the back.
it's like for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me it's like you're in grade 8, you looked at it and you're like matric dance. You're in grade 9, you looked at it, you're like matric dance. And then when it's finally your turn to have your matric dance, the world up and decides and goes, ha, no. And I know, it's not just me who's feeling this and stuff, but like, still, it's hard, it's rough.
Honestly, like the only thing I was looking forward to in grade 12 is finishing school.
Really.
I was literally going to say the exact same thing as Ben.
What about like valedictory?
Honestly, don't care. I get that.
I also
I
don't
get
care
that,
about
but it doesn't
valedictory.
matter.
Wow, you guys are like depresso expresso.
No, okay, I wasn't finished. Right. So like until this year, like matric dance like became slightly more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
That I sort of want to go, but I mean, I'm not super phased about it. Like on valedictory as well. Like you're probably gonna get like 10 people in our grade who are gonna get like all the prizes, and then the rest of them are just like, okay, and you just sit there.
Yeah, true. But have you ever been to a valedictory? It's like you sit there with your friends and you're just. I think personally for me, it's not so much as about like the physical stuff of like, oh, we're just gonna go sit there and get gifts. It's more like emotionally, you're sitting there with your grade that you've been through for me personally, for 13 years, and then
But I think that's more personal. Like the walk down the road, like out onto the road. I think that walk is far more personal. I think it's far more fun, and like, because that's like the embodiment of the school song as well. Like the gates close behind me for the very last time.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't think valedictory really embodies that as much.
Fair enough. But
But even so, like I wasn't like, when I was in grade 8, I wasn't like, man, I want to walk down that road when I'm in matric. I was kind of like, I want to get full colors for something, and then I want to get out of here. And now my only goal is to get out of here.
yeah, I understand that, but like, I think also it might come down to like my belief personally. It's just, you're stuck in matric, you might as well just enjoy it. And it might be like an unpopular belief to a lot of matrics out there, but it's like, I'm stuck in this grade, I'm stuck in this school, might as well make the most out of all of it, might as well attend all these functions and things and just have fun.
Not necessarily like you might as well attend the functions. You can have just as much fun by being like, nah, I don't feel like I'm going. I don't feel like I want to go.
Like it perfectly sums up. So I went on open day to Stellenbosch University,
Yeah.
which is in South Africa for international listeners. And like, there's something about like being out of the same school environment. It's like refreshing.
Yeah.
You've been there for ages, and it's the same thing every year.
Have we all been there for 13 years?
all three of us.
Everybody's been in the school system for how many years, right?
Yeah.
And to break free of that and like move into an adult, as we essentially are.
But adulthood sucks, dude.
Can
I mean-
confirm. I'm 18 now. Lol.
Is there anything really different?
Fair
Hey,
enough.
awesome, you.
Uh,
I mean, not really.
you don't think so? I mean, I feel like
It's just more responsibility. at the
yeah,
end of
it's
the
more
day.
responsible. It's more so you have a higher chance of being blamed for something. because you're the.
Not only that, but like I
Bro,
suppose
we're
you get
already
more
getting
freedom.
Sorry, Daniel.
We're already getting blamed for just as much things. Like, there's literally no difference.
Yeah, true. But I mean, also, it's like, for me personally, as the organizer of parties, a lot of parents, when it comes to like letting their child come to this party or this event or whatever, they always end up like making me in charge of everything. And it, you know, and I
You're the
understand
older one, so
why.
You should be.
Yeah, I'm the older one. I understand why, but it's like, lady, I can't control a certain person. What do you
Yeah.
want me to do about it? But then, as the older one, or as the quote-unquote adult, I'm kind of put in that position where I have to watch this. Watch the idiots as they like get themselves piss drunk or something.
Oh, I can get that, but I think that's more of like a your family thing.
I guess so. It's not even
Um,
my family thing, because it's not like my mom's telling me, because honestly my mom couldn't give a shit. It's more so their parents coming to say, you know, make sure my son's safe, or make sure my daughter's safe, or
Yeah, but I mean that's a natural thing for any parent. Like
yeah.
it is you. At the end of the day, it is your party that you invited them to.
You see, here's the
presumably
thing.
Your house, let's say.
Here's the thing. Even at parties I'm not in charge of, they still end up, you know, Kevin, make sure everything's going well. It's like, but I'm not even at my house. This is your house.
Also, because you're the oldest and expected to be more mature.
I mean, Daniel, do you remember that party we did last year
Do it where?
at my friend's house?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that one? Yeah, I'm not no name dropping here, but it was like, you know, it's not my house. I didn't organize the thing. It wasn't even my idea to have the party, and yet still it was my responsibility to make sure everyone was okay. Daniel was there. Daniel's older than me, by the way, for those of you who don't know. I'm the youngest out of this trio of retardism. But yeah. Look, I don't know. That's just my, like, I don't know. I guess you could say unpopular opinion. But yeah. Speaking of, you know, these unpopular opinions, I think personally for me that was not very. That's not entirely unpopular. Yes. What?
Oh,
what?
that cut. You try to do
Another
that
one
again.
of Kevin's smooth transitions.
Yeah.
Dude, I could be a talk show host, I'm telling you right now. Anyway, it's like, you know, unpopular opinion. Should we start with a definition first? Do you think so?
Go ahead.
So it's an opinion that you hold, or you know,
Which is unpopular.
which is unpopular. It's like, for example, I personally don't think that Adele is such a great singer. That was an example. I do think she's a great singer, but you know, it's an unpopular opinion. So yeah. So does anyone want to share their deepest, darkest opinion that they never dare share because of?
I mean, admittedly, it's not something I actively think about. Like, damn, I have a really unpopular opinion about that not many people like. It's like,
I guess also sometimes it's not that it's like you don't know it's unpopular until you actually say it out loud. Then everyone's like,
Yeah.
"What's wrong with you?" You know, huh?
it's kind of like your example of Adele actually served like a good example. Like, I don't like her that much, admittedly. Like, I don't think she's bad by any means, but I don't think she's that like great either.
Yeah.
To be honest.
There we go. There's your unpopular opinion. But it's also stuff like, okay, you know what? I'll start us off with one that's I think is quite big. Okay.
Okay.
Personally, I don't know why people fuss about which way, why. I don't know why people like care so much about you put the cereal first before the milk. Or you put the milk first before it's like, why do you care? Just eat your goddamn cereal. Jeez.
See,
Because
like,
Kevin,
there's
some
a slight-
people are freaks of nature.
there's a slight difference between the two, right? So obviously, if you put the cereal in before the milk, like that's the common one. And if you put
That's what I
the
do.
milk in before the cereal, you're going straight to hell.
Jeez.
Exactly.
What do you mean
It's just
though?
a matter of fact.
Look, I mean, some generally.
What do you mean by what does he mean? You're going straight to hell. He means that you're going straight to hell if you
No,
do that, Kevin.
Generally, I put the cereal in first, right? Because
Yes, same.
I'm too lazy to go get the milk first. But
Yesterday I almost damned my soul to hell, but because I like picked up the milk and I had the cereal on the counter, and I started opening the milk and I was like, wait a second.
no, you see, this is why I don't understand. Why do you care about how it's supposed to be? Because, you know, for
Because,
me,
okay,
it's like
if you
if
think
I were
about
to no, it's like if I were to pour cold milk, right, to have a cold cereal, then yeah, I'd put cereal first, then milk over. But then if I were to have like a warm cereal, like sometimes in the mornings it's freezing cold, I put the milk in the bowl, I heat it up, and then I put the cereal in. What's such a big deal about that? I don't understand.
So get the mug,
like-
heat up the mug, and then pour it in the bowl.
Yeah, but I
my
don't want to
theory-
wash another mug.
My theory is, right, like if I put the milk in first and I start pouring the cereal in, either the cereal's gonna like, it doesn't like sink all the way to the bottom immediately, where if you put the cereal in first, it's already at the bottom, and the milk just has to make its way around it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know, but I mean,
And
just get a
If
spoon.
it,
push it
also,
down.
if I pour it in, yeah, but then that's just more effort for no reason.
Well, I don't want to wash a mug when I could just wash one bowl and a spoon. I don't want to
Why
wash
aren't you washing a mug?
because you know if you're gonna, like Daniel said, sometimes people they pour it in a mug to heat up the milk. Where you know
Sorry, I'm sneezing.
you could just pour it into the bowl, heat it up in the bowl, then put the cereal over it. Then you don't have to wash the mug because there is no mug involved.
I don't know.
But anyway,
I'm
my
scared of
here's
cereal
the thing.
splashing.
My
It's like-
opinion isn't that which way you're supposed to do it. I just don't understand why people care so much. It's like, let the dude
don't-
eat
I
his
don't think-
cereal the way they eat their cereal. Leave them
I don't
alone.
think people care that much. I think it's just it's something people find funny to like give other people shit for. If
do
that
you
makes
think
sense.
so?
Yeah.
I mean, Daniel
It's
over
because-
here just told
okay,
me
like-
that I condemned my soul to hell.
Yeah, but you know Daniel's a
It's
troll,
true.
dude. I'm
I'm saying
gonna
it's
sneeze
true
again.
because you condemn yourself to hell, not because I'm a troll. Just to make that clear. Okay.
Are you okay, Michael?
I think there's like dust floating around my room. Shut up, Daniel. But it's like more of like the norm to see like cereal milk as opposed to milk cereal, right? So when if someone's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna break that norm," and people are like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" You know.
But why do you care if they break the norm? That's the
I'm
one
saying
thing I don't
it's
understand.
a thing is like people don't actually care that much. They just think it's a bit strange because it's not something they're used to.
I guess, yeah. Okay. Well, glad we
Yeah.
cleared that up. Anyone else have like a unpopular opinion? I've started mine. I've started us off. Anyone have something they want to share?
Yes. I don't get
You should.
why some people like Friends.
That is an appropriate opinion.
I don't know if he's being genuine or he's just being a troll. For those of you who don't know,
Genuinely, Friends is like far from comedy. Okay, can somebody please explain?
what do you mean why you don't understand people need friends?
What?
I don't understand what you mean by that though.
No, I was talking about Friends, the TV show.
Oh my gosh. Well, that clears that up. I got really confused for a second. I was like,
Why do people have friends? Because we're social beings, Daniel.
I was about to,
Humans require friends, Daniel.
I was about to say that. Oh man.
That's
But
really
yeah,
funny.
so Daniel,
No, I tend to agree with Daniel.
but it,
I haven't watched a lot of Friends, admittedly, but like the episodes that I have seen, I just don't like. I don't think it's funny. Like, I don't really laugh at it.
Oh, you know what is the classic? When they're... Have you ever seen on YouTube where they removed the laugh track from Friends episodes?
Oh, that's actually really funny.
It is the most dry humor you've ever seen because it's just blank pauses in between each one of their lines.
Okay. But do you like Big Bang Theory?
No,
I
it's
think
also
it-
garbage.
Like, I used to really enjoy it when I was like in grade 6 or so. But then it really just fell off for me because it was kind of the same. It felt like the same thing. It was just kind of boring and repetitive.
See, but here's the point I'm trying to make is that I personally watched Friends, and I agree with Daniel. What's so great about Friends is just another comedy sitcom that's like funny sometimes, but most parts really just not funny.
It's never funny.
Oh, okay, but it's like
Sounded so disappointed.
but it's like, you know, have you guys ever watched stuff like Vikings or I don't know.
Almost watched
Game of
Vikings.
Thrones is a good one. Game of Thrones. Personally, I watched
I've
Game of
watched
Thrones. I don't understand the hype between Game of Thrones. Like, okay, it's this medieval TV show where anyone could die, and I
I
don't.
think it was coming out of a time where like it wasn't really the norm. Like, how many TV shows could you name like when Game of Thrones came out? And like, when did Game of Thrones come
I
out?
don't
Like
know when Game
2011?
of Thrones came out. 2011.
I don't know. Of Thrones.
Yeah,
17 April 2011.
2011. Okay.
Yeah. Like, what shows can you remember now from 2011 that did the same things as Game of Thrones?
Dude, I don't think I was watching TV shows in 2011, dog.
I'm saying, like, have you looked back at any shows that might have like aired back then, like as yourself now?
Yeah, no, fair enough. I understand where you're coming from.
Like, it's just like, I don't. I'm also not like very clued up on what was happening in like 2011, but I suppose you could maybe call it like the sitcom era, quote unquote. Like,
2011.
I think sitcoms were very popular in 2011, admittedly. Stuff like
yeah,
Mrs.
yeah.
Brown, Big Bang Theory, Friends, Two and a Half Men,
Friends didn't
all
come
over
out
the
in
place.
2011. Friends was like,
didn't it?
dude, Friends was like 19 something.
Either
Or
way, it was
early
still airing.
2000s. I might be wrong. I'm gonna piss off a lot of people if I get this wrong.
It was in the 90s, I'm pretty sure.
It was the 90s.
no,
so I'm pretty sure it was the 90s. But you know, it's like I just don't understand that. Okay, you've got a show like Game of Thrones, but people love it, and you know that's fine. You can like a show, you can like a movie, that's fine. But why do you have such a devoted following to it? I could never understand.
That's something that bothers me. Like, I've spoken to a few people before where like they're at the point where it's like they're not just characters. Like, and it's like they are kind of just characters, just played by actors. You know, and it's like I understand that you can care about those characters because maybe you relate to them in some way. But I mean, is it really that deep? Like, I don't think so.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make is that regarding Daniel's like opinion is that, you know, when a TV show has such a devoted following like that, and especially in the 90s where I'd say, let's be honest, 90s television wasn't the greatest. I mean, there were
I
some
don't know,
great
bro.
movies.
There
Let me
was
think.
there was some bops back then, bro.
Top Gun was one great movie from the 90s. Forrest Gump, was that 90s? Forrest Gump, was that 90s or was that 80s? But you know, a lot of like, but I'm talking TV show wise. I don't think there were like massively famous shows in the 90s. And then, you know, well, especially one for like young adults, so like youth guys. And then all of a sudden, Friends pops out, and it's this show that a lot of young people can really like relate to. And I think that's why a lot of, because if you ever notice, it's like generations, like our generation, like what's the big deal about Friends? But then if you look at,
A lot of people in our generation like follow Friends like I don't know.
you reckon?
Yeah.
I mean, we are technically one of the oldest like ages in our generation.
No.
Even then.
I don't think we
Doesn't
are.
really matter.
No, we are Gen Z.
No,
we
we're
are
Gen
one.
Z.
Yeah, we're
No, Gen Z starts in 1995 and ends like 2002, 2003.
So we're the
So
last
one
of
of the
Gen
youngest.
Z.
Actually, it ends like 2006. No, even later. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it ended way earlier. That's my
No.
bad then.
I just want to say, guys, like, I don't care what people say. People born before 2003, right, are so different from kids born from 2003. Like, I'm just walking down the school and you can actually notice it. Like, as Matrix, and then you look at back, it's so different. Like, I don't care if they put us in one generation, it's different.
That's why I have to disagree with you.
You don't think so?
Yeah. Funny that you like ended that separation like 1 year below us.
Yeah, I mean, also, it's also like, maybe like, also the fact that, you know, as, how do I say it? Like, we were the last grade to use a book-focused learning style. You know,
I mean, I suppose so.
and, you know, I think that just creates a lot of like, whoa, something's a bit different about the younger grades, because they didn't really have to use books or notes. They actually like, iPads and laptops are actually like technically their books now. Like, it's compulsory for them to have a device. I don't know, I just think it's, oh, there we go, another unpopular opinion. Man, you see what I mean by like, once you get started and you say it out loud, then you realize it's an unpopular opinion.
So that is literally.
I have an
everyone
unpopular
agree
opinion,
with
but I know Daniel will literally hate me if I say it.
me. Okay, so
Say it. You won't.
PewDiePie is my favorite YouTuber, by any means. I don't think he's that great.
Okay, I don't really care. I wouldn't consider my favorite YouTuber either. So
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I mean, yeah,
Like,
he's
I
not.
like him, but like, I just don't find him as entertaining anymore. Like he's okay, but he's not. You know, when I was like watching grade 5 and I started watching his videos in 2013, I was like, holy shit, this man bops. His videos are funny. But now I'm kind of just like, you know, he does his whole floor gang thing, and I'm like, I mean, okay, you have some funny jokes, but it's just like, it's the thing. I'm not as quick to jump at like his video. I'm like, oh, PewDiePie released a video, let me go watch it. You know?
Can I throw out a Can I throw out something? And I
Okay.
feel like you guys might actually like get upset. I have never watched a PewDiePie video,
Really?
mainly because I honestly don't care. Because people are like, oh, but he's the best YouTuber in the world, and I'm like, okay, and he you know, it's just not something I would watch.
Yeah.
fair enough.
I still find him entertaining every now and again, but he's like 2016 him I didn't think was funny looking back. This whole like, yes bro, I'm filthy frank, and it's like, I don't know. But yeah, I suppose that's like an unpopular opinion of mine.
Yeah, but comment section, please don't absolutely destroy us. These are unpopular
What you
opinions.
mean PewDiePie not best YouTuber? Fuck you, bro.
I am never watching this podcast again, bro. Oh man, but I
But
mean,
just remember that these aren't our opinions, they're a matter of fact.
yo, let's not anger the entire fan base here, okay?
It's not
That's a joke.
pure fact.
Sorry, Daniel. What?
Yeah, it's not unpopular opinion, just pure fact.
Exactly.
I'm already thinking of ways of how I'm gonna censor this place. Like, guys, technical difficulties. My bad.
Classic Kevin, move straight to the censoring.
Yeah, of course, dude. Yeah.
We just get to the section of the podcast to start talking, and Kevin just
Just-
puts a giant sign, redacted.
Just comment down below if you want me to speedrun getting banned off Kevin's Discord.
Oh man. Okay, and there's one topic that I think relates quite well to unpopular opinions. It's shower thoughts. Does anyone like shower thoughts?
I've seen a lot of like Instagram pages or like things that are like similar, where it's like Instagram thought or not or shower thoughts on Instagram, and some of them I'm like, yeah, it makes like sense. I have that thought like frequently.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's kind of like
Yeah.
shower thoughts for me are more like I had an argument with my friend or someone like earlier that day, and I'm like, man, if I said that, I would have absolutely destroyed that lip tart.
just your shampoo bottle watching you win the argument.
I have to admit, do you sing in the shower, Kevin?
No, I don't sing in the shower.
Okay, I don't either. I think it's such a weird thing that people consider that so like common. Like-
Yeah. Daniel, do you sing in the shower?
No.
I don't. Like, I understand why people would do it, because it's kind of like it's like a safe place where people can't really judge you other than your shampoo bottles.
But even your parents could like just be outside, or your brother could be there, and you'd be like, haha, this fucking retard is singing.
Jesus. No, but I think it's more of like slightly like people who are living, I don't know, with like a roommate, someone living with a roommate, but there's still that level of privacy. It's like, dude, I'm showering, fuck off.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why people would sing in the shower. I don't know. I don't think it's a popular thing because
Do you take music into the shower though, like a speaker?
no.
No.
So many people do that. I know like 3 or 4 people.
I
that,
know
like,
people
take
who
a
go
speaker
on their phones in the shower. I'm
in
like,
the shower. Oh, they're mad.
you are
Like,
brave.
I don't.
my
I
dude.
don't even leave like my phone in the bathroom when I take a shower because it gets so misty in there. And I'm like, I don't want like all the water to go into like the sockets, like. So I just leave it like right outside, and then when I've like dried myself off, then I start using it. So like.
Yeah, I don't understand people singing in the shower. I mean, it's like okay, I worded that wrong. I understand why you do it, but I don't know why people think it's such a popular thing. Because
It's probably just like TV over the ages popularizing it when it isn't actually such a common thing.
probably I will say though, in the shower, I do have debates about stuff. Don't ask me why. I just start talking to myself.
Well,
Just the other two personalities start coming out. I've got to keep track of them somehow. So I talk to myself in the shower.
Yeah,
I kind of just like the water just feels nice, like running over my neck. Sometimes I'm like tense, and it's like a really nice,
Yeah, there's another thing that I don't understand. It's why people. What's the word? People who believe in like 5-minute showers. Okay, well, not saying that I don't understand isn't like what I'm trying to say. It's more so. But why? If you have the hot water, why do you force yourself to take only a 5-minute shower?
Makes sense if you're in a rush, but otherwise no.
Yeah, but I mean, like, my dad, for example, is a firm believer of a 5-minute shower. Right? He's like, there is absolutely no point in me being in the shower longer than I have to be in. And I'm like, but dude, the relaxation.
I think it just like it adds more stress if you feel like you have to what's its name? How do I explain? If you feel like you have to rush in the shower, you don't get to like relax and like diffuse, and you're like, let me think about something.
Yeah,
You don't get that time, and instead you just end up feeling more stressed than when you got in.
yeah,
I think that's all that 5-minute showers give you.
true. What about baths? What do you guys think about bathing?
That's like,
I don't do it often, but when I do it, I actually feel really relaxed and like calm. It feels nice, but it's not something I do often.
I haven't done it in years.
Yeah.
I did it last year once, sometime. It's the first time I've bathed in. Jeez,
I think it's
like
disgusting,
ages.
personally.
Yeah, you're literally sitting in your own dirt.
Oh
You're
no.
literally sitting in your own filth.
And plus, like, it uses so much water.
That too. That's why I don't like. I was just like, I want to bath again. Just like, is it like worth it, kind of thing. Not worth it, but like, just to see what it's like again. It
Yeah.
sounds like some like deep thing that I'm remembering, but it really isn't. Just I found it was relaxing, but I far prefer showers. Like,
And also another thing about a bath is like, for me personally, there's no way to get comfortable in it because it's not like it's cushioned or anything. It's really hard, and you're sitting there, and then you don't know what to do with yourself. You can't get in a comfortable position. Or it might just
Yeah,
be because
also
I keep trying
my-
to swim in the bath because I get bored.
my bath is just really tiny as well, and I'm like a tall person
Yeah.
and quite a big person, so it does get like uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah.
Or it started getting uncomfortable when I was growing a lot.
Oh, but I do have a question for you guys. Okay.
What? Spill the
you-
beans, Kevin.
Do you think having like candlelit baths and roses and whatever, like with your significant other, do you think that is romantic?
Like, at the same time.
Yeah, bathing at the same time, but like fully kitted out, like roses, candles, wine. I don't know why people drink wine.
I don't know why you do it like in the bath. Just like have dinner with the person. And
That's exactly what I'm saying. But I don't know. My sister disagrees with me. She says no. I think it's romantic because it really you have a high level of intimacy then.
Yeah, but then just take a shower
Bro,
with each other.
I don't have
find
enough
it very
space for
interesting.
myself. Like,
Exactly.
No,
I
but
wasn't
obviously,
gonna put a whole ass other person in there.
no, but obviously, if you were like living in a house with a decent bath and you were fully comfortable with your significant other.
Well, I mean, I don't see it as something I'd do, but I mean, it's not like out of the realm of possibility. Like, it just seems unlikely because baths are usually like not that big.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, those hotel baths are massive sometimes.
I can't remember. When did I stay in a hotel last?
What do you mean?
I haven't stayed in a hotel in ages.
Do you not go on holiday?
No, I do, but we have property overseas. So.
Oh, okay.
Just because I have family overseas.
oh,
okay.
What do you mean? Oh, okay.
Got connections,
Oh,
huh?
No.
Got them connections, huh?
Well, not anymore. They're kind of, not there.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
It was my grandparents. My dad inherited it's a flat on like the 11th floor in Portugal. That's literally the size of my house.
So it's a penthouse.
It's not a penthouse. They don't live on the top floor.
Imagine a penthouse in that building, dude.
Fuck, dude.
That'd be like insane.
But yeah, like it's really not. I really liked staying in Portugal. It was a bit like cold because we went in winter, like Christmas time, whatever. But it actually made it better. I think it was so nice there.
But is it like overlooking a beach or like a night?
Overlooking the city.
Oh,
I remember when I was a lot smaller, my grandparents were like alive. We went there on one holiday. I was like 3 or so, so the memory's like relatively like vague.
hmm
But I remember seeing like a big ass Christmas tree, like outside the window of my grandparents' flat, and it was the coolest thing to look at because this tree was just fully lit up, and you could see it like in like the town square.
Okay.
You know,
That does sound pretty cool.
it was yeah. But the last time I went, they didn't have it. They had a smaller one, but not. Yeah. But it was really nice though.
Oh, okay.
Shut up, Daniel.
You know, I'm now thinking of stuff like that makes me a bit nostalgic sometimes. You know, like you like that Christmas tree you're talking about.
Did you just?
How smooth was that? I wasn't gonna break the immersion, but how smooth was that?
Did you just?
Did it again, ladies and gentlemen. He did it again.
It's smooth. Leave me
Imagine it.
alone. I wasn't gonna break the immersion. Great, now you guys just broke the immersion for the listeners. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
continue, Kevin. Make it immersive once more, dickhead.
But you know, it's like stuff that's nostalgic. I mean, you know, you remember how I think Greenstone still does it, but Greenstone has that massive Christmas tree,
Yeah,
right?
vaguely. I don't really go to Greenstone that often.
Well, I think they still do it, but I just remember when I used to go to Greenstone a lot, right? They used to have this massive Christmas tree, and then when I moved, moved to China, a few, like many years ago, for like 3 months, it just, you know, you'd see those Christmas trees and you just think back. It's like, yeah, I remember that massive ass Christmas tree in the middle of Greenstone.
I suppose so. Like, it's a bit like, would you say like, what makes? It's a bit of a different question, but what makes like Christmas special for you now?
For
That
me
makes
now,
Because, like, you know, when you were a child, like, obviously, like, family was an aspect, but also, like, you know, Santa's coming to my house to deliver me some gifts. You know,
Here's
but
the
obviously,
thing.
now you don't believe in Santa.
I realized very quickly.
Wait, what were you saying about Santa?
I realized very
Santa's not
quickly
real, Daniel.
that Santa isn't
No.
real.
Daniel, I'm gonna hit you with a bigger one.
Santa's
You know the
not
Tooth
real.
Fairy, Daniel?
Yeah.
The Tooth Fairy isn't real, Daniel.
Daniel,
God.
and you know the bunny who's supposed to give you chocolate during Easter, that Easter bunny?
Yeah.
That's also not real.
Oh, I knew that one.
Oh, oh god damn it!
Fuck.
Fuck. But
You're breaking the immersion, Daniel.
you know, I realized very young, like I would say when I was like 2 years old, that Santa wasn't real because my mom kind of ruined it for me. I mean,
Kevin, Santa isn't real. Deal with it. Huh?
no, I mean, like, who wraps presents in the middle of the living room when your child is still awake, and you expect the child to believe that it's still Santa? Nah, fam. I ain't that dumb.
My parents always forced me to go to bed saying like, if you don't go to bed, Santa's not gonna give you your gifts. And I'd be like, okay, I'll go to bed. And then I'd go to sleep.
But also, you know, like, celebrating Christmas isn't a big thing in Chinese culture because Christmas isn't a Chinese holiday, right? So I guess also my mom was like, okay, what do I do? How's the Santa thing supposed to work? You know, so she kind of just started wrapping presents in the middle of the living room with her 2-year-old looking at her saying, what's that? And she goes, oh, it's a Christmas present. I was like, for who? It's like, for you. Oh, what about Santa's one? And then at that moment, she realized she fucked up.
My parents used to get big into it, dude. Like, they used to leave raisins around the house, and they'd be like, "It's the reindeer poop." And I'd be like, "The reindeers came in our house."
See, that's what I want to do with my kids someday. But you know, like,
I'm actually not sure. I think a rat might have shat in our house the one year.
it's the reindeer.
It didn't look like raisins the one year to me, but I was very small, so. But yeah, like, I think it's an important thing, like, for your children to believe in. It's like a nice bit of fun you can have with them. you
Yeah.
know?
I was talking to my mom the other day, and I was like, "What do you miss most about me as a child?" And she just goes, "The amount of like things we could do with you was just incredible. It's just such a fun." That sounded so wrong. That sounded so wrong out of context.
I was thinking, and that's why I was like,
It's more like you know, letting your child believe in the I believed in the Easter Bunny because there was no way they could ruin that.
call
for
him
me.
the Esther Bunny.
The Easter Bunny, yeah.
Easter, bro.
I mean, I can't think of a way to
Kevin believes in the Ether Bunny.
the Ether Bunny. Instead of chocolate, just chucks fucking ether all over the place.
He gives you Ethernet cables just like
Yeah.
front and center.
Oh look, the ether!
Ho ho ho!
the ether
Enjoy your
bunny.
land games, children.
Oh
Except
man,
he's a mix between Santa as well, so it's kind of weird.
it's a furry.
Literally.
Santa's a furry. Oh no, my childhood.
But also, it's like I personally have no idea how you can ruin the Easter Bunny for someone. But she was saying stuff like, I remember when, like, doing an Easter hunt and you finding an like those, chocolate Easter eggs. The look on your face would just be like, it would just be something that I can't ever forget,
Bro, you just put yourself in third person, you can see that look in your face,
Yeah, dude. What, you don't carry
Go
a
into
third person?
console, type svcheats_1 or svcheats1, and you just type in third person. You're like, aware.
What, guys? You don't have a third person hotkey IRL? No ways.
I hate you so much.
But I just think as a child, well, I'm sure somewhere out there's going to be that one listener who's a parent or soon to be a parent or whatever, or like someone who wants to have children. I'm from what I hear,
You're really fishing here, Kevin.
I'm really fishing for audience. here.
Anyone.
Anyone. But from what I hear, especially from my parents and from like a couple of my friends who just have like who just had a kid, and they all tell me the same thing. Generally, it's just like there are times when you absolutely will want to just run away from your child because it's an irritating piece of shit, right? It's a bit harsh, but but there's other times where once you do something like an Easter egg hunt, or you sing a song or you bake a cake, and the time the child like experiences that, and then what my friend said was really powerful was that there's nothing in the world that can recreate a child's expression of seeing something for the first time.
I mean, I suppose.
So yeah.
Unless you
You have that massive one up. Yeah, I suppose.
What was I gonna say? I was speaking to, like, I think it was Alex. It might have been my mom. But to me, it's interesting to think about how the different generations are gonna handle their kids. Like how boomers have handled like millennials or our generation, and how like Gen X is gonna handle theirs. How millennials are gonna handle their kids, and most importantly for us, how are we gonna handle our kids? Like, what morals do we take into? What things do we think we can improve on from our parents, kind of thing. It's like, especially with all the memes, like, imagine your child's like crying in the middle of the night. You just like whip nay, bruh, stop crying. Not that I'm funny at all, but like, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very like socially influenced generation. So it always makes me curious, like, to see like how would our generation as a whole raise up the next generation versus how our parents did it.
Yeah. I think it'd also be quite interesting to see how our generation, like how we would operate with like a wife. Because let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest, guys. By our age, right? If we were talking about your parents' generation, they would have had a lot more interaction with girls than we do now.
I mean, also because like in something like a place like South Africa, like how many years ago would you say even? Like my mom, when she was a child, she always tells me like she used to be able to just go and walk everywhere and like even prank her neighbors and stuff, like normal kid. Like you always see in like American TV shows, just like ding dong ditch or whatever. You know? But we can't do that in South Africa, at least for the most part.
It's just not safe.
Yeah. But I suppose in like other countries, it's not as bad. Like, I think it's around the same. I think maybe you have like some more antisocial people overall than you would have like back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you have more to do inside than you used to like 20 years ago.
Yeah. But I also think, like, another thing that I think would be quite interesting is how our generation would, like, go after girls, if you get what I'm saying. Not in a creepy way.
You've kind of like already got an
Very
idea.
out of context, like, okay, just ignore everything that he says out of context, everyone.
Not in a creepy way. Don't, if you're a dude, don't go after a girl in a creepy way, okay?
Oh, now Kevin's trying to be a
creepy.
white knight.
But you know, it's stuff like, I listened to the stories my dad used to tell me about how, and you know, this sounds something like out of a Hollywood movie, but he would actually go to my mom's apartment, right? Stand outside her window, throw like little stones at the window to wake her up, and then they sneak out and go, just, I don't know, Joel somewhere. But I'm thinking, like, do you reckon our generation will do something like that, or is it going to be something completely different?
I think it's gonna revolve around like social media mostly, to be honest.
Is that
Like
how we-
realistically, that does seem like the option if you think about it.
I guess.
Like, how much more logical is it to go out, waste fuel, and you know, chuck pebbles at a window when the girl you're interested in has a phone right by her bedside table, and she just responds to you like that, unless
see-
she's asleep.
Here's the thing, right? I don't disagree with you. I think what you're saying is completely reasonable. Like, just fucking give her a text. Don't be a fucking creepy, I don't know, Slender Man outside chucking. Yeah, don't be like that. But like, I talked to my dad, and he goes, no, I still, even if there were a phone, I'd still do that, because it's the
I mean,
action of going out of your way to do something different.
I can agree with that to an extent, because it makes the you know, it's like a story kind of thing, like I was chucking pebbles at your mom's window and she woke up and then we went and partied all night, as opposed to like, it's a more, I suppose you could say, like a more personalized story. It feels like it's more,
to the DMs.
Sliding through the DMs.
yeah, like 20 years from now we're gonna be like, and my bro, I slid into your mom's DMs like I was on ice skates.
Oh man, please don't ever say that ever again. Jesus, dude.
But you see, like, which do you think is more cringy? Like, me doing that, or your dad being like, no, I chucked pebbles at your mom's window until she woke up and then we went and partied.
I think personally, right, yours is more cringy. But my dad
Wait,
chilling
like, you
outside
think-
my
you
no. But my dad chilling outside my mom's window is kind of just creepy, dude.
See, I think like the big thing is, right, you're able to gauge like where you are before actually making any like physical commitments, you know.
What
Whereas
you
you're
mean
trying
with,
to,
like, with the text? You mean?
yeah, exactly. Next month you're throwing stones, and it turns out it's an absolute weirdo inside there.
But you can't see that over
And you're in too
Instagram.
deep.
But you won't be able to see if she's a weirdo or not over
Yeah, but-
Instagram.
You're able to gauge it a bit better.
Are you though?
Yes,
Well,
you
yeah,
have
I
interaction.
suppose so. Like,
Interaction.
you get to know someone better, not entirely, but you get to know someone better if you talk to them, as opposed to if you, like, you know, you meet with them every 3 months when you send them a letter via pigeon, you know?
But also, here's the thing, right? Send them a letter via pigeon. But, you know, taking away, for me personally, taking away the act of guessing, if I can say it that way, that sounds kind of wrong as well, but it's kind of like, I think, like, if you were to keep continuously make your decisions off Instagram, or what you think, you know, what you perceive
but
of the woman.
I'm not saying what you perceive, like, you get to like chat a bit, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
It's
But
not
also,
like,
it's
oh,
like,
picture. Oh,
But it's
Well,
also
I
like,
mean-
how would you know that maybe a weirdo is what you need in your life? You never know.
Yeah, but then you experience that by like, it depends if they're like too weird, right? Because
No, I know, but I'm
it-
just
it's
saying,
a
like,
level,
sometimes you need, sometimes.
you don't need someone that's like
Yeah,
super
you
weird.
really don't.
Like, I think I can agree with you to the extent that like, it's not bad to have someone like slightly weird in your life. Everyone's weird in
I
their
know.
own way, technically.
There's also like a difference between a bit quirky and like
Yeah.
very like socially like off.
Yeah. But I think you.
Is it-
What I'm trying to say is, like, what if, for example, I think that, oh, the girl who would suit me is a strong, I don't know, silent woman who doesn't talk a lot, right? That's what I think.
And that's for you, dude.
Yeah, listen, but in the end, it's the person who's the talkative woman who can be vulnerable sometimes or whatever it is. That's the person that you actually need in your life. But because humans, you know, we make wrong decisions. We can all agree on that, right? We make wrong decisions. So what I'm trying to say is, what if we make a wrong decision in what we perceive is best for us, when in actual fact is something that we need totally different? But
Well, it depends if you realize that it's the wrong decision.
yeah, but you wouldn't know that unless
you
you've dated a person who's
Well, then
talkative
hopefully
and a
the
bit
the
vulnerable.
friends around you like realize what you're doing and they try and
Well,
help you.
I see like there's more of an opportunity to do that.
Do you
with
think there's more of an
media.
opportunity?
Yes.
Could you please
You've got
explain?
more access to everyone around the world.
Okay.
Exactly. That's like you were saying that like the fact that it's like random like makes it better. You could like you take a chance in it kind of thing.
Yeah, that's pretty
Right.
much what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm like 50-50 on that because like it makes it if it's random and you guess right, then it's kind of like, you know, it feels great and you're really happy for like the rest of your life or whatever. But if you're wrong, then you could leave the situation heartbroken and really sad. Whereas like it's still down to chance. Like if you're trying to get to know the person over phone, it's just less. Like my parents always used to say to me that you don't know how someone truly is until you live with them,
Yeah.
because you don't know their habits, you don't know their like what they do or how they manage themselves at home. That's like a lot of the time people get like sick of each other when they start living like with one another, because now you're seeing each other every day,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and you enjoy that person, but every day is a lot
Yeah.
and forever's a long time. So it's still down to chance. I think it is better that you have the like social media option so that you can get to know the person just that little bit better, so you're not taking as much of a risk.
But I think, but what I'm trying to say is that, like, yes, there's that you're taking a little bit less of a risk, but sometimes I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. It's like,
It makes for the best memories. You're like, I took a chance on your mom and it worked out like really well.
that's not
Is that what
about
you're trying to say?
memories per se. It's not about like whether it was a good chance or a bad chance. It's what I'm trying to say is it's more of whether I have pushed myself to believe that this is what I need in my life, when in actual fact this is what I need in my life. And you know, you're constantly going for the same type of girl, the same like persona, and you just carry on and eventually you're 70 with still you don't find who you really want to marry, because you've just been like going after the same persona, because you've kind of forced yourself into believing that this is the person I need.
Honestly, like you can do that just as much in real life, if not more, because it takes longer.
But
You
I
can,
think
you can do that. You can have like
But
more
I think-
chances to experiment online.
Think about the chances of like, or like nowadays compared to social media. If you go out to a club and you have like a genuinely memorable experience with one of the girls that are probably drunk there, from prees or something.
Sounds like this is from experience, Michael.
No,
No?
I'm just saying. Shut up.
Just a reminder to our audience that we are not endorsing taking advantage of people who are clearly intoxicated. That is illegal.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's not
do
what I'm
not do anything bad. Instead, help them and be the better
Jesus
person.
Christ. Kevin like fucking shouts it right there. I was like, oh my
Do
God.
not do anything dumb, guys.
No, but it's like, how likely are you to have something like a one night stand as opposed to find your next girlfriend at a club, as opposed to someone you start DMing their reply, which is also still a chance. But you know they're not under the influence unless they're on drugs. But you know the chances of that are very low.
I mean,
Kevin, what are you saying about females in our generation?
dude, I'm just saying, there was one girl I DM, turns out she was in rehab.
Oh,
We're still friends today,
that's just
though.
unlucky,
Just
bro.
saying. Still good friends today.
No, but you
But,
can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just. I forgot what I was gonna say because Kevin was like, and I was like, what do you think, Daniel? Do you agree with me?
Yeah. Why is that the most unenthusiastic yeah I've ever heard in my life?
I mean, I've made my opinion clear.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So I guess that brings it to the end of this week's podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope everyone, like, I don't know, learned something, maybe? I don't know if there's much to
I
learn.
mean, you probably didn't. We're quite stupid.
We're quite retarded,
Um,
yes. I mean, there's not much to learn. But if there
Leave a
was...
like,
Yeah.
subscribe, my bros. You're not bros. I'm just kidding.
Sure. Oh, just like that.
Oh, thought we were family.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We're not bros. We're family.
Ah.
We're a bit more than bros. Shut up, Daniel.
So, yeah. Leave a
leave-
like if you
Leave
want
a
to do
comment about what you want us to talk about, please.
it. Yes, we're running out of ideas.
Sometimes, believe it or not, we really struggle with topics to talk about. I know we go on like rants about random shit all the time, but please help.
Yeah. Okay. Q&A.
Oh, yes. And
Yes,
we will be introducing a new segment into our podcast.
If
So-
you all start commenting,
So if you guys
just shitting on the
start commenting questions about us or things that, you know, like when did we start the podcast, whatever, why it gave us. If you have any questions about the podcast, you can leave that in the
Or
comments.
anything.
We
If
go
you have
through
a-
all of your comments, each and every one of them, because we're dedicated like that. Okay?
All two of them we go through.
All two of them, we go through
And
each one.
Even if it's not about us, if it's something random, we will try answer it.
We will
Okay,
try
cool.
answer it. Yeah. So if you want us to,
so
if you
make sure to leave a comment signed with your ass. Not
Yeah.
actually, please. That's kind of gross.
But so leave a comment on either a question about us or question something you want, a question that you want us to answer for you. We will next week's episode we go through all your comments. So next week's episode we will be talking about that. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. You leave a dislike if you didn't. Comment whatever you want. Tell us what you think about our podcast, how we can improve. Subscribe for more. And is there anything else, guys?
We'll see you next time.
Oh wait, the name. Yes,
Huh?
we still don't have a name for our podcast, guys.
Yeah, why don't you guys
Before
also
the
go
next-
you can go into the comments and be like, why don't you guys name yourself this? And we'll be like,
No,
consider it.
and then we'll come up with one ourselves. Or maybe
good.
it's so good that we will.
Depends
just-
how
we
good yours
just-
are.
we steal one of the comments and it's like, no, we came up with that name first, not him.
Look, don't be
What is
surprised
this?
if we suddenly pick your comment and then we delete the comment. Okay, so we're not responsible for that.
Oh man. Don't listen to those two. Leave a comment on what you think we should name it. We read most of the comments from last video. There were some pretty good names. We're giving you guys one more chance to leave a name. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
Rename Kevin legally.
No, leave me alone. We'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed. Bye, guys. Bye.
Just.
Cheers.